Hello, this is Susan Woods, your Black Lives Matter investigator. Thank you so much for your time. Since I learned about the new investigations into the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation last week, I've been doing a lot of research trying to pull together different articles to share information with you. I decided because there's so much information to share to present the information to you as updates. So I'm going to share Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation 2022 Fraud Investigations Update number 1. This is the first update. And like I said, going forward, I will share information with you with this particular designation. The image that you're looking at right now on the screen is of Attorney General Rob Bonta of California. I'm going to share how his office is investigating the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation in this video message. And again, I'm going to share information about this broad investigation in updates. So here is the article that I'm using for this update number 1. And it says, Black Lives Matter Global Network Under Investigation by California could lose tax-exempt status. Once again, Black Lives Matter Global Network Under Investigation by California could lose tax-exempt status. And this is dated February the 2nd, 2022, and it's from the San Diego News Desk. In the article, I chose to use 2 paragraphs that were objective. Now, you, of course, can read the entire article if you choose to, but part of the article has quite a bit of subjective information in it that I did not include in my presentation. So these 2 paragraphs are the paragraphs that I chose to use because they provide objective information. California Attorney General Rob Bonta published a letter explaining that Black Lives Matter could lose its tax-exempt status since they have not provided any financial reports or records to the state. Bonta also stated that Black Lives Matter is no longer in good standing with the Registry of Charitable Trust. The letter reads, an organization that is delinquent, suspended, or revoked is not in good standing and is prohibited from engaging in conduct for which registration is required, including soliciting or dispersing charitable funds. The group will need to pay a renewal fee and complete an IRS 990 form that details their financial activity. However, if BLM withholds their economic action, Bonta would hold individual BLM leaders personally responsible. Charitable assets cannot be used to pay these avoidable costs. Accordingly, directors, trustees, officers, and return preparers responsible for failure to timely file the above described reports are personally liable for payment of all penalties, interest, and other costs incurred to restore exempt status. That's what the letter reads. It is unclear who will be responsible for the fees or punishments. Founder Patrice Cullors stepped down from the organization last year, and she currently, has no successor to her position. Cullors came under fire last year after it was revealed that she had a number of real estate investments in wealthy areas of Los Angeles, Atlanta, and the Bahamas. And again, this is a partial article from the San Diego News Desk dated February the 2nd, 2022. I would like to take a few moments just to highlight a few things in these two paragraphs. First of all, it's important to note that the California Attorney General, Rob Bonta, published a letter to start this investigation into the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. That's important because California is a very liberal state. So I think it says something for this Attorney General to go after the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. That's my first point. Secondly, although this letter is a state level, the state of California level, I'm happy to see that part of the requirements to demonstrate transparency is for this organization to show a completed Form 990 information report from the IRS. In other words, they have to download the IRS Form 990 information return to show how the organization used the $90 million it generated in 2020, because the focus of the investigation is on the year ending 12/31/2020. So that's the focus of the investigation, because that is the year in which the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation administrators admitted to generating $90 million in the wake of the George Floyd murder. So that's why the investigation is focused on the year 2020. And another thing that I want to point out is Patrice Concoulers lied in her resignation letter when she said that she had appointed, or the organization had appointed, 2 people to co-lead the organization. You may recall that I had posted a video introducing you to the 2 new leaders. Was that, as it turns out, one of the leaders reached out to me and said that they never accepted the position. They never started, they never worked with the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. So since May of 2021, this organization has not had anyone in leadership position. So no one knows who is actually leading this organization. So those are some profound points that these investigations are uncovering. Warning letters. Washington State Secretary of State office is the first state that I'm aware of that issued a letter to the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. And then the California Attorney General's office issued a letter. So I'm going to pause sharing for just one moment so that I can pull up both of those letters so that you can see them for yourself. But again, this is only the beginning. This, I'm convinced, is only the beginning of the downfall of this organization. And I believe that people are, in fact, going to be held accountable for what they have done, because $90 million is what they admitted to generating in 2020 in the wake of the George Floyd murder. But I know, and you know, that it's way more than that. So I'm going to share with you now the letter from the Washington Secretary of State's Office, Corporations and Charities Division, located in Olympia, Washington. This letter, as you can see, is dated January the 5th, 2022. And it's addressed to Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation Incorporated, 1855 West Baseline Road, Suite 250, Mesa, Arizona, 85202-9012. Make a mental note of that mailing address. And this is a closure notice. The registration number is given, and it says, "Dear Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation, this letter is to inform you that the organization's registration with the Charities Program of the Secretary of State has been closed for the following reason. 1, our records show that the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation did not successfully complete the registration or renewal process. To date, we either have not received the required registration renewal document or we were unable to file it because it was incomplete. Number two, if Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation is required to register pursuant to the Charitable Solicitations Act, RCW 19.09, all solicitations conducted on its behalf must immediately cease in Washington state until such time as it is properly re-registered. And you can read the rest of the letter. This is important. This is crucial. This is the state of Washington saying you cannot solicit investments or donations to the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation in this state because you did not register. You did not let us know about your financial transactions in this state. You did not report your financial transactions. You did not demonstrate financial transparency because that's what the registration part and the renewal process is all about. And in this case, it would be renewal if they've already registered. Every year, if you generate a certain amount of money based on state requirements, you have to report that money to the state. That's what you call transparency. And clearly they didn't do that for the state of Washington. So that's one state that's already put them on notice. I'm going to pause for just one moment and let you see the letter that that the Attorney General in California sent to the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. I want you to see their letter. So this is a letter from Attorney General Rob Bonta, State of California, Department of Justice in Sacramento. This letter is dated January the 31st, 2022, and it's addressed to Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation Incorporated, 248 3rd Street, number 305, Oakland, California, 94607. Once again, the address is Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation Incorporated, 248 3rd Street, number 305, Oakland, California, 94607. Do you see a difference in this address and the one that the Washington State Secretary of State's office used for the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation? The address that the Washington State Secretary of State's office used had Mesa, Arizona as the state in which, it's a city and state in which the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation was located. But here, the California Attorney General's letter has Oakland, California as the city and state of location. I've read articles where people have tried to reach whomever is in charge of the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation by going to the addresses in which they use, and they cannot find anyone there. As a matter of fact, a security personnel told someone that they've never been there. The address was incorrect. So this lets you know that this is a layered, fraudulent scheme to defraud people out of millions of dollars. This letter says delinquency notice and warning of assessment of penalties and late fees and suspension or revocation of registered status. And again, the organization Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation Incorporated is delinquent with the Registry of Charitable Trusts for failing to submit required annual reports. Those annual reports are required to show, again, where is the money going? How much money did you generate? How did you use the money? That's what you have to tell the state every year, the state in which you are operating. This is not just a federal thing. This is a state thing as well. And it goes on to say, annual registration renewal fee reports together with required renewal fee for fiscal years ending 12/31/20. Again, they're focusing on 12/21/20. So for the state level, they want you to renew your reports because clearly they've already registered with the state of California. So now they just need to renew it. And then also what I love about this state is also requiring copies of the IRS Form 990, ending 12/31/2020. So from January 1st to 12/31/2020, the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation has to give an account of where the money went that year, $90 million. Failure to timely file required reports violates Government Code Section 12586 and may result in a suspension or revocation of your registration. Unless the above described reports are filed with the Registry of Charitable Trusts within 60 days of the date of this letter, the following will occur. The California Franchise Tax Board will be notified to disallow the tax exemption of the above named entity. People will be personally liable for payment of all late fees, and you cannot use your money that you generated to pay these costs. A delinquent organization may not engage in any activity for which registration is required, including solicitation or dispersing of charitable assets. Again, they have to respond to this letter within 60 days and is written on behalf of Rob Bonta, Attorney General. This is big news. They have until April 1st to respond to this letter, and I will be following up. I'm so happy that states, even though it's a state level, not the federal level yet, but state governments are investigating the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. And again, I will continue to provide you updates as I learn more about this Black Lives Matter 2022 fraud investigations. Thank you so much for your time and your interest, and have a great day.